So I've heard that apparently there's been some juicy drama coming around in the games industry lately. Instead of looking up the information myself, I thought I'd go to my boy Most Critical. You know, he normally wraps his stuff up really well and see what he's talking about here. I believe it's about the guys who make Tarkov. Not 100% sure though, as I've not really looked into it. But I got told to give this a watch, so here we go, boys. Shall we have a look?
Escape from Tarkov? More like
It is a Escape
escape
Tarkov.
from the
Okay,
video games
what
industry
it was.
because their new greedy decision is having them run out of town with people chasing them down with pitchforks and leaving their game in droves.
Is it that bad? What have they done, man? My God. Like, I was thinking about trying Tarkov, but I just never got around to it. Wow, what have they done?
Escape from Tarkov probably needs no introduction. It's a massively popular game.
Big
And they
game, big
just
game.
pulled a huge blunder that is catastrophic for their company. They are releasing a new PvE game mode at a
Okay.
$250 price point. That is so.
Oh my God. £250 for a PvE game mode? Game mode? So do you have to actually own Tarkov itself as well? The part of the reason I never got Tarkov was because I know you have to pay for extra storage. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was always the idea people gave to me. To get extra stuff like extra storage and stuff like that, you have to pay extra money.
Many doubloons it makes
But
me want to spit. For
250 for what?
$250, I
Ooh,
expect to download this new mode and then actually have the CEO of Battlestate Games come over and rim me out. That is stupid to be
yeah.
charging for
I agree
DLC.
massively.
But even aside from that,
So he said DLC. So you also need to buy and purchase normal Tarkov to be able to even get that. So realistically, I'm not 100% sure what Tarkov is, but you know, somewhere probably between 30 to £50, right? It actually probably depends on the edition you get, right, with the storage. So you probably, if you don't own Tarkov, to get what would be classified as the full game, probably be like £300, £400 or dollars, shall we say? That's insane. Regardless,
delusional price point, it commits every unforgivable atrocity
oh.
that could
Does it
ever
get worse?
befall a video game. It breaks all the rules, commits every sin that not even the Lord can forgive. It is pay to win out the wazoo, and this
Wait,
is
pay to
something they actually
win?
doubled down on today, which I'll cover soon. This is a
Wait,
story that's been
what?
developing over the last like 24 plus
It does
hours,
get
and it just
worse.
keeps getting worse. It's like they're trying to find every possible electrical outlet to stick a fork in until it finally ruins the company.
Yo,
Like they
whoa.
are so focused on burying their fist as far up their own ass as possible. So it's pay to win in the very literal.
Bro, the moment he says it's pay to win, there's some way of pay to win. The thing is, you know, those whales are going to come in and they're going to buy the shit out of it. Because, you know, some people, a few hundred quid's nothing, bro. Like, you see whales spending that sort of money, like, in literal minutes on video games. Like, why? Like, selling content for £250 is one thing, right? But then also having it be pay to win in some form, like, just makes it literally so many times worse.
Sense of being pay to win, but the absolute
My
worst part
God.
is that it broke a promise to their community who had bought into a previous edition they offered. It was misleading their entire community. So they offered
I'm not gonna lie, you should never ever believe the companies when they talk about, you know, having the player's best interest. Because at the end of the day, they're a company, right? Their end goal is to make profits. So yes, they probably have morals that they would like to stand by, especially if they're a smaller company. But if they're not making the profits and they know they can make them somehow by maybe twisting their ethics a bit, they will do it. Or the investors will pull their legs to do it if they don't have full control of the company. Like, you can never take what they say for granted at all. Like, you take it with a pinch of salt, bro.
something called the Edge of Darkness edition for $100 in the past. And one of the perks of buying that
Hmm.
$100 Edge of Darkness edition is that you would have access to all subsequent DLC in the future for free.
Oh,
So 100
see, if they have done this though, if they have done this, if it's like written down somewhere when you've bought that, that's what you've been promised. Legally, they still have to give it to you. You could this could be taken to on a legal case if they're refusing to give you what you've paid for sure.
$100 is a lot of money for a DLC, but it was kind of like an investment long term into the game that they loved. So they paid that $100 under the impression that in the future, if more DLC content was coming, they'd have access to it.
But I bet that tweet's like the only way it plays
fast
this,
forward
is
to
it,
the
right?
Unheard Edition for $250, they are not allowing the Edge of Darkness buyers access to that DLC for free.
That's rough,
They
man.
would still need to buy that. Now, initially, that was going to be it. You'd have to pay the extra $150, but with all of the backlash that understandably came from this, they decided to dip their toes into a compromise where they would offer the EOD buyers 6 months of access to the Unheard Edition. So they get like a fucking free trial, like a drug dealer giving them like their first hit for free.
It's
laughably pathetic.
What?
I don't even think Mr. Krabs would pull some shit like this, because even he would recognize that this would ruin.
Honestly, like, that's sort of an interesting way to go about it. Not even like we'll get it even cheaper to you. No, it's like, we'll give you 6 month trial, then you have to pay for the full price to us still. We'll let you get addicted first, you know?
His business. This is incomprehensible greed. I learned about all of this last night on stream, so I'm going to play you all of those clips to get you caught up to speed on the lore and exactly what's been going on here and how bad it all is.
Like Charlie.
And then I'm going to come in to give you the latest updates with what's been happening today, only a couple of hours ago, because it continues to get worse and worse for Escape from Tarkov somehow. Earlier today, the Unheard Edition of Escape from Tarkov was announced as part of the latest patch, promising a brand new player versus environment mode and other bonuses. Yippee! Now that the edition has launched, fans are not happy with the bonus it gives and the massive $250 price tag. That is a big chunk of change that even has
that is an insane price
doing this right now. So just this one deal.
I hope many people don't buy this, because honestly, it will set a really awful precedent for all the other big games companies to be like, we can actually do this if they get enough sales. So I hope basically nobody buys this, because my god, it'll go so bad for the industry as a whole, man. We don't want that. We just don't. No one wants that.
DLC was $250.
Maybe the whales do.
The first issue that fans have is that the player versus environment mode for Tarkov is exclusive to those who buy the new edition. This is despite the fact that anyone who purchased the old Edge of Darkness edition was promised all future DLC content as part of the season pass, which you would think would include this new mode.
It should do.
So this is false advertising? Is that what they're coming after Tarkov for? Because they're saying
that you get all
future DLC with this, and now they're not giving you all 100% future DLC. 100%
a lawsuit case.
A lot of fans who have the Edge of Darkness edition are rightfully very annoyed they now have to upgrade.
Like, if it's written literally in Word and you have the receipt, almost like the receipt for it, right? That's what you've paid for, and it's down. 100% is a lawsuit waiting to happen, bro.
From EA.
Don't dilly-dally.
Don't dilly-dally.
Get on Bally!
I don't know what Bally is, bro.
EOD, which costs $100 in order to play it. However, some posts on the official Discord have tried to explain why BSG thinks this is not DLC. Please don't tell me they're trying to fight their battle.
No.
Actually, they push up their glasses.
It ain't DLC. It's a new feature of a new edition added.
That's not the correct nomenclature.
Wow. It's almost like, it's extra downloadable content. I wonder if we could shorten that to a word. DLC. Wow. Who would have thought?
This is a new single-player experience, man. Thus, they did not circumvent any laws. Not only that, there's a clip from Landmark channel.
Honestly, if they took that to court and they were like, yeah, we made a new edition, and we don't really think it's new, it's DLC. We just think it's new downloadable content you get with this new version. Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely think the court's gonna go with them on this case for sure, bro.
Of them changing the wording on their website live to hide what they did. I'll check that out. It's from Landmark. It ain't DLC, it's unique feature of the new edition added, said Discord user Applezor, who is the lead community manager at Battlestate Games for Escape from Tarkov. DLC means additional downloadable content. PvE is a feature and a game mode. Just because you all want it to become a DLC, it wouldn't.
Hey guys, you know when it says like it's a game mode and that, new features. Do you remember some of the first ever DLC, right? That was like very popular. So we're talking like the old Call of Duty, right? oh my god, it's almost like they had new content in them, like new weapons, new maps, and stuff like that. Oh wow, it's almost like, and also some of them had new game modes. Hmm, sound like features to me. I think that still counts. like, no, I don't think anyone's going to agree. Like they have a foot to stand on here. Like they're just absolutely talking out their ass. Like, what are they even trying, bro?
It is one. It's featured game mode for the
Disappointing.
new edition of the
Honestly,
game.
disappointing.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town? What? What kind of weak ass
Exactly, bro.
argument is that?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Huh? That's a lot worse than I thought that was going to be. The other major issues that fans have been complaining about is the big in-game bonuses players with the new edition will get. While other editions of the game give some bonuses, so far none have been major factors when on the map and fighting with other players. The closest is extra loot that they get at the start of a wipe. However, this new edition includes more space to store loot when on the map, improved skills at the start of a wipe, and a bonus where AI scavs will not shoot at them if they have
so
over
it is literally pay to win. You get an advantage.
So that's what the pay to win article was about then.
The bonus where AI won't shoot them.
Separate issue. These, along with some other bonuses, have led to the edition being labeled pay to win, with players who buy it expected to have a big advantage over those who do not. The reaction to the new edition has been so negative that all but 3 channels in the official Escape from Tarkov Discord have been silenced, with users not able to post in them. Moderators on the game's subreddit are also...
I bet the 3 that they have not silenced, right, will be the ones where only like the moderators and staff can post stuff in. So, you know, like announcements and, you know, advertisement areas and whatnot. I bet those will be the 3 that weren't silenced.
So
I bet they're posting in those regularly
about the same topic, saying they are just as livid about this situation as you. You know things are reaching like deep DEFCON levels if even the subreddit mods are like, nope, we're mad about this as well. That's when you know you have truly fucked up. Battlestate Games did not respond to my request for comment. Battlestate Games is yet to officially comment on the backlash. With pressure
I bet they'll try and just pretend it never happened.
You would expect them to do it so sooner rather than later. The move also comes at a very bad time given that Gray Zone Warfare, a game many see as a competitor to Tarkov.
Actually, let me quickly Google to see if Tarkov actually has had a reply. It's been a few days now. Let's go for Tarkov. Let me see if they actually have made like some sort of reply to this. I bet they haven't. They just had started maintenance. The definition of oh my god, I love these. So you know the Twitter readers context that you might want to know, sort of thing. It literally corrects for saying their definition of DLC is incorrect. Let me bring this to you guys. That's brilliant. Look at this. Scroll down. So they did a big Reddit thing and obviously try to bullshit their way out of this, right? A couple of days ago. They haven't really said anything, honestly, apart from maintenance. The definition of DLC is incorrect. Oh my god, they've already released like a new game mode as DLC. Yeah, they've fumbled the ball there, bro. They can't even stand by their own definition. That's brilliant.
Has just wrapped up its first public streamer test, which has gone incredibly well with fans.
I love it when Twitter does stuff like that.
Tarkov very low. Many fans are hoping they can get their hands on Gray Zone Warfare sooner rather than later. Here's an update at 8:15. The official Escape from Tarkov account has posted a statement that seems to suggest Battlestate Game has no plans to make the new mode available to anyone who does not buy the new edition. Hey guys, listen, we heard the outrage. Fuck you. PvE mode is a unique feature which is available only for owners of the Unheard Edition. We will keep you updated on new features exclusive for EOD owners. And then they even got community noted. New game modes are generally accepted as DLC if put behind a paywall. Battlestate sold EOD with the promise that they would receive free access to all subsequent DLCs.
All future content, right?
Ham-steamed by fucking Twitter community notes. Not only
that, we saw the other note as well.
Call in friends mid-raid to help you as a PMC, which has never been a feature. It sounds very strong. You're still gonna buy it, right? Brother, I don't play Tarkov. And you would never catch me spending $250 for a fucking DLC.
Nah.
I don't even buy DLC when it's like $5.
Bro, like, well, I question buying games when they're full price, let alone paying $250. Like, I didn't buy. I recently played Borderlands 3 and got all the DLC and everything like that. Yeah, do you know how much it would cost full price for all of that stuff? It's like £300. But I bought it for 23. Yeah, and I was still questioning it. It went on sale the first time about a month and a half ago for about the same price. I was like, nah, I won't bother. Maybe it'll go cheaper. And then I changed my mind when it came back around again because I had a thought about it, and I was like, maybe I should have got it. I probably could get a decent amount of time off it, and so I did buy it. And I've put like 50, 60 hours into the game already, and I'm probably only about halfway of what I'm done. So still, I feel like it was a good buy, worth the amount of time I've put into it. But yeah, like. And I know I'm not the only one who's like that with games nowadays, right? There's always so many different games that are coming out constantly now. You got to really try and pick and choose, because I don't want to be spending like 60, 70 pounds on a game and then play it for like 2-3 hours. Nah, bro, I'm good.
You think I'm gonna drop 250 clams on this?
Not yet.
Who do you think you are? I am, or I'm not.
I'm good.
I would
bro.
not do that.
I'm good.
That's craziness. Tarkov devs are also shitting on the competitor game on Twitter. That just means that they're kind of desperate.
Invest in your future.
Man, all the ads, bro.
Imagine this is what you're talking about from his stream. They just changed what you get retroactively to avoid the folks calling them out. I've talked with ANPC, National Agency for Customer Protection again. The only way we can solve this is if we make formal complaints to BSG about this. If they are left unresolved for 30 days, we can proceed with the lawsuit, no problem. If they answer negatively, we can proceed. I suggest you all to do formal complaints as BSG. Make them have 1,000 lawsuits at once. This is available for Europe, the 30 days thing.
Yo.
Man, that...
I need to do
severely
it.
underpaid social media guy for BSG is gonna have the worst 30 days of his life.
Yeah, that's
meanwhile, all the big wigs are just gonna be counting their money from the whales that won't be able to contain themselves, scratching at the neck and spending the 250. I've been playing Tarkov for like 8 years. This hurts, man. Yeah, I don't even play Tarkov, and this is pretty painful just to read. I don't know how.
Like I said, I've never really played Tarkov. It's specifically that's always been on my list, maybe. But yeah, like, this is just painful for the industry as a whole, right? Like, it's not what you want to, like, no one wants to see this sort of stuff, right? It's just negative for the general games industry as a whole, bro.
They thought this would go over well.
Yeah.
That's something that I just can't wrap my head around.
I don't know who thought this was a good idea, bro.
Hire tech-savvy people. They have social media experts. They have these fucking think tanks and focus groups, and yet somehow these kind of decisions still go through.
Yeah,
there really must just be this epidemic of people that spend money no matter what and say nothing. Like, this has to somehow be profitable for them, because it happens too often. The big problem is them changing the promise. Oh, and that's not even I mean, that is a big problem, but to me, the biggest problem is just like this outrageous price point that they thought was going to work.
No. I definitely think that outrageous price point is insane, but I think the more so, the bigger problems here are that legally they need to be giving it to the people that they promised to give it to originally, and also the pay to win shit. The pay to win shit is probably outside the, on a law moral standings, the actual to ruin a game, pay to win. Like, why introduce that shit, man? Like, I feel like that they're definitely worse problems than the price point, honestly, because people do spend like 250 on like skins and shit on games that are free to play. So, like, I think that sort of money isn't too bad. Like, in the sense of, like, in the scope of things, obviously it's still terrible that they're even trying to do that. But in the scope compared to some of the other things that have been listed now, like, that's definitely the least problematic, which is still insane to say, right?
Even if there was no broken promises, I still feel like most people would see 250 for some fucking DLC and scoff. Look at Star Wars Outlaws, for example. Granted, you get a lot more out of this for 250 than you do out of Star Wars Outlaws for 130, but even still,
Star Wars Outlaws
are fucking
is 130. What?
And you want to know what else is laughable and pathetic? Their social media guy who's fighting for his life right now on Twitter. So, Escape from Tarkov is by far the biggest in the genre. However, there are a couple of competitors. And this lone warrior with access to BSG's Twitter, the company behind Escape from Tarkov, is doing his best to try and play hardball, fight fire with fire. But he didn't realize he was bringing piss to a poop fight and ended up
video games gonna be sued for plagiarism. Yeah, that's not quite how it works, bro. Yeah, like, so video games can be done for plagiarism. That's actually incorrect. Like, they can be done for plagiarism, but not the video game itself. It's more the code within the game can be plagiarized, technically. If you make, like if a company makes their own in-game house systems, and then they somehow get leaked to another company uses those in-house systems that don't sort of obviously exist. Because the world of coding, a lot of it is copy pasta. A lot of people use the same functions everywhere. But if you've made, like, say, a back-end engine, like some of the companies use, and then all of a sudden somehow someone has a very, very similar engine, and it's like, literally tens of millions of lines of code to make this program, and they somehow have a program which is like 99% exactly the same, they can get done for plagiarism on that. Like, they legit can. But that basically just never happens, because people just make shit from scratch anyway. Because using someone else's software is just a pain in the ass. Would be a pain in the ass even if you did get access to it.
Covered in filth. He desperately tried to plant his feet here and make a public slapping display.
But yeah, you can't just look at a game and be
another
like,
game that was taking advantage of all of the hoopla here, recognizing that Tarkov fumbled and that a lot of players were leaving. So they made an announcement saying, like, hey, you guys are welcome in our game. And the BSG social media champion tried this little maneuver. Have a nice 20-minute adventure in the blatant plagiarist game. In and out. And then even got slapped by Twitter, community noted, saying, hey, it's not plagiarism. They need to prove that assets were taken from EFT.
Oh, yeah.
So even Twitter's making fun of
it. To be honest, I didn't read the second line. They literally said what I just said. Yeah, you got to prove that the assets are taken.
SG. Right? Now let's start with the newest
That's the whole thing with Dark and Darker,
by far is a supposed unreleased interview with BSG. I'm not going to get too specific about it because I don't know if I'm even allowed to really talk about it. I'm pretty sure I can't show it because, again, it is unreleased. But basically the interview went as bad as you could have possibly imagined. The interview opens with him saying that all of this is not a mistake. He's not forcing anyone to buy their game, so suck it up, basically. And then another question that was asked point blank was, are you contemplating any solutions since this has been received so poorly?
It doesn't sound like he cares, bro.
And he gave a single word response. No. So it doesn't seem like there's...
Bro, that's such a shame that the higher-ups are so deluded with their thoughts that they're not even going to change their thoughts. They're not even thinking about it. And it's probably because they know there's a lot of whales that play Tarkov and they'll probably make their money's worth. Like, even if they only sold like 5,000, that's a big chunk of cash just get straight like that. And the thing is, because how big Tarkov is, they probably could do like 50,000 rather than 5,000, right? Probably enough whales to do that. 250 times that by 50,000, mate, you making some chunk change there, aren't you? Like, couple of mil.
Any signs of them changing their minds with this direction here? The whole interview was him just basically throwing everything into the shitter and saying, deal with it. 250, fork it over, is what it is. We're not changing
They
this.
can fork off,
And then, this one blew my mind. They did make a slight update to all of this, where instead of addressing the price problem or the lying about what EOD owners will get in the future or the shady, scummy attempt at hiding things on their website, instead of addressing any of the complaints, they instead doubled down on pay-to-win features. In response to all of this, everything that's been going on, they basically come out and say, like, hey guys, look, we've heard you. We see what's going on here. We're listening.
I don't want to hear.
So we're giving you more pay-to-win features. Mother of Pearl, just look at this list. One of these...
Faster return of insured items. Wait, one of the EOD, they're all at EOD, we plan to add. So they're making EOD more pay-to-win as a sorry.
Is high priority matchmaking. They're getting a priority queue for 6 months. It's not even the lifetime. Keep in mind, they're not giving you lifetime.
They're not doing lifetime stuff because they're like, no. We'll get you hooked on it so you get used to it so you can't play without it. then we got you in that loop, bro. You know, it's like they're just giving you an addictive drug for like 6 months, and then be like, it's over now. I gave it you for 6 months, bro. But if you want it, if you still want it, you know, it's up to you, of course. You don't have to take it, but we can sell it you for charge price, which is quite high, probably. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to want you. They've had the good life. They ain't going to want to go back.
Access to the Unheard Edition pay-to-win shit. It's a 6-month trial to try and get you hooked and hopefully get the whales to buy into the $250 down the line. Like, this is their solution to all of this. Shows just how out of touch and greedy they are. This is greed on a scale I don't think I've ever seen in the games industry before. This is making EA sweat. EA right now is taking notes. They're like, whoa. How are they doing this?
That's not
like they're right now.
Let's not have any ideas being spread here. Right? Let's just all take a step back, and we could all just like pretend Tarkov never existed. Right? None of this existed. Tarkov didn't exist, apart from the lawsuit. We'll get the lawsuit done first, then we can pretend none of it ever existed.
Trailblazing. Like, I feel terrible for EFT players. I never really got super deep into Tarkov. I've tried it a few times, but I'm just not big into the extraction genre, to be honest. But man, this must suck as a big fan of the game. This is massively. So unacceptable. The best case scenario here is another game comes and does what EFT does better.
Yeah, honestly, this gives an opportunity for a lot of other companies.
People in the industry. That's the best.
Like, we could see some really nice, good new extraction games coming here for sure.
Case scenario here, but who knows how long something like that will take. The dumb assholes at Battlestate Games have really done something shocking here. In an industry that is overcome with greed out the wazoo, somehow Battlestate Games just found a new low.
Yeah, they've outdone everybody, haven't they, really?
Impressive. Anyway, though, wishing the best for the EFT community during this time, because Jesus, that shit is awful. Yeah, so I just want to talk about this a little bit. That's it.
Yeah, like, as Charlie said, I really hope they just backtrace everything. They realize how big of a problem this is. Honestly, I couldn't wish this on any community at all. But hopefully, worst case scenario, if they keep doubling down, you know, someone else will come out with a better version of Tarkov. Like, it could be done. Like, extraction's so early on, people can develop the game mode in such a different way and like make it into something fresh, new to Tarkov, but also keep that, you know, that element that Tarkov had that made it unique. But I'm sure we'll probably see something regardless coming out in the future for extraction game modes as they are seemingly getting more popular. But yeah, I just hope they backtrack. I really do, because otherwise it's not looking good. Because especially if they start making sales, man, it's not looking good for the game industry. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.